Yo! As promised, here's a new series we're calling Media Minutes, where we feature a news pro that shares a bit about what they do every day and how they interact with public safety in the field. The intended audiences are public information officers, otherwise known as the PIO.
Hey, I think we're rolling.
Here we go. Hey ho, disaster fans, I'm Kevin Sir, otherwise known as @rusnivek. This week, I'm in Indianapolis, talking to a bunch of reporters. I'm sitting next to
Emily Kinzer from Wish TV.
Man, she's important. So Emily has been part of our public information officer class, and we want to find out a little bit more about public information officers and how we deal with the media. So Emily, is it fun to be a reporter? Are you born for this kind of stuff?
I feel like I am born for this kind of stuff. I love people. I love telling their stories. Every day is a different day, and that's my favorite thing about it. You never know if you're going to be at a fire scene, a police scene, crime scene, feature story. Everybody has a story to tell, and I'm blessed that I have the opportunity to tell it.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool. So since you work with a lot of public information officers, fire, police, CMS, everybody out there, what's one trait about the PIO that you really like?
Availability, I think, is the common theme that most any reporter will tell you. It's your job to get information to us, just like it's our job to get the information out to the public. It's a trickle-down effect, so to speak, and it's important that you're available to us so we can do our job too.
So what you're saying is if I don't answer my phone, I push you to voicemail or something along those lines, like that we're not cool, that we're not going to be friends
I'm
at
not
that
going to be
point?
happy with you.
Dang it, don't want that. All right, so in the same vein, despite not, one of the traits that you like, what is one trait of a PIO that you don't like, i.e. things that you hate about PIOs?
Not being available and no comment.
Man, no comment is not a good answer. Are you serious?
No, I understand that sometimes you guys are working an investigation or there are things you just can't say. That's okay. Let me know that you're working on X, Y, and Z so I can tell the people who are watching, the public, hey, they can't tell me this. It's an open investigation. Police are being tight-lipped. I tell people that on TV all the time. Police aren't saying much. It's an open investigation, but when we find out more, when they're able to tell us more, we'll tell you.
Cool. All right.
Communication.
That's super important, making sure that you get the right information and we have that dialogue with each
doubt.
other. So in that kind of stuff, what are two things, so when you arrive on scene, what are two things from PIOs that you expect to have? And do you want all the facts? You want some 30-second blip? What are two things that you expect to have from every PIO when you arrive on scene?
Tell me what all you know, which I know a lot of times it is very basic and it's very minimal because you're getting there shortly, probably before we are. Sometimes we're there before you are. Let us know what you know and give us updates when you can. If you can give us a soundbite, give us a soundbite. We always genuinely appreciate the real human soundbites. I know oftentimes you guys are in uniform, you're all crisp and in the uniform, but if you can get real with us, get real with us. You don't have to say 10 apparatuses are on scene. Tell us what's happening. If one of the situations I like to reference is a drive-by shooting where a 1-year-old got killed in Indianapolis. The PIO on scene for IMPD got so real with us and talked about the real emotion that first responders were having with that situation because a baby girl just got killed, and it was amazing, and it was the sound bites we used all morning because we didn't see him in his macho man uniform. He just told it the way it was because at the end of the day he's human just like we are.
Yeah, those kinds of emotional stories definitely bring out the good in people, and having to serve our communities, it's tough sometimes, especially when we have to put up a front.
Right.
So that kind of interaction, I think, is super important. So to kind of ask you a few more questions, we like to rapid fire questions to all of our media reporters, and we wanted to ask a few questions. So it's going to ask you a yes or no or email or those kinds of things. So I'll ask you a question. So do you prefer an email or do you prefer a tweet?
I prefer an email. It's more personal.
Really? Okay, all right. So are you a Facebook? Are you a MySpace or a Friendster, AOL Instant Messenger, or are you like ICQ? Which one are you?
That's a lot. I'm definitely Facebook.
Oh, okay. So Facebook, huh? All right, so in the battle of social media platforms, are you like Twitter or are you Snapchat? So are you a tweet or are you a Snap?
I'm a tweet.
Oh, man.
But if I had to choose, I'd be a Facebook.
Really? A
But
Facebook?
that wasn't the question.
Okay, all right, okay, so Facebook. What about DM or text?
Definitely text. We
No.
don't want people sliding into my DMs. We get weird messages all the time. I mean, it would be okay if you sent me a message on Facebook. I'm not going to think you're a creep, but Joe Schmo down the road.
But the DM, okay, got it, roger that. Okay, no worries.
But I wouldn't want him texting me either, so.
Oh, of course, that'd be. What about emoji versus meme?
I've gotten in on the meme game recently, but I definitely emoji more than I meme.
Oh, I am more meme than emoji. Interesting.
What's your favorite meme?
Oh, I got a whole bunch of them. Again, it depends on the situation. But Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. We'll talk about that later.
I feel like I make the Grinch work for everything. The Grinch memes.
Well, it is the season for Grinching and whatnot, so
Yeah.
this is it. So, all right. So, one of the questions that we like to ask our reporters is: do you like to be gritty or polished?
I like to be polished.
Why?
I like a polished, finished story. I like all the sound weaving through in and out of the interviews. I like the steady shots, the clear shots. Overall, I know breaking news doesn't always allow for that, but if I have time to sit down and edit it, I'm kind of a perfectionist. I want everything in its proper spot.
That's good to have, especially in the news business for sure. All right, are you beer 30 or wine o'clock?
Wine o'clock all day.
All right, phone call or text message?
Text message.
I figured you'd be a phone call because it's media. All right.
I don't like talking on the phone, believe it or not. I would rather text all day.
I dig it. Okay, so and finally, to close this section out, what is your favorite hashtag? I'm judging now.
I know. Hashtag Daybreak8. We're going for the Wish TV.
Oh, the
hashtag.
corporate line.
The corporate line. I
dig it.
know. I'm not big on hashtags. They are super important though, because I know the more you use them, the more people see your feeds.
Got it. All right. Well, that kind of closes out the interview. We want to make sure that we thank all the folks that came to the class here and also gathering insight from the local media. As PIOs, we always want to know more about what you folks are thinking and how we can better improve our skills, that's skills with a Z, on public information. All right. So we're reporting live here from Indianapolis, Indiana. We'll see you, folks.